Hello everyone. I'm Jodie Foster, an American film and television actress, film director, and film producer. I'm the winner of 2 Academy Awards, 3 BAFTA Awards, 3 Golden Globes, 2 Saturn Awards, the Independent Spirit Award, and the Screen Actors Guild Award. I've also my own star in the Hollywood Walk of Fame. You have sure seen my movies. Taxi Driver, The Accused, Silence of the Lambs, Nell, Contact, Panic Room, and Flight Illusion. Many people think that it is super cool to be a top worldwide star. Fame can bring you all the benefits that you ever dreamed of. But fame can also have a negative side, and I want to tell you about it today. So I got into the film industry since my early childhood. I was never afraid of the camera, and I have starred in commercials since I was a kid. I had good looks. I was a pretty red-haired girl, and I was lucky as I was noticed by the top directors of Walt Disney Studios and Mr. Martin Scorsese himself. At the age of 11, I played one of the main roles in his popular movie, Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore. And then at the age of 13 years old, I played the role of a young girl, Iris, in a famous movie, Taxi Driver. It wasn't, an easy job for me, and this was an adult movie with erotic scenes. Well, I did not perform in these scenes. My elder sister did it, actually. But what was the most frustrating was that I was not even allowed to attend the premiere of this film because I was underage back then. Can you imagine? It was prohibited by the law. I could not watch a movie that I starred in, and it's just incredible. This film received the main award at the Venice Film Festival and was nominated for several Oscars, and for the Best Female Role too. And it was me who played this role, actually. I didn't get an Oscar back then, but it was all good anyway. This film made me famous, and it gave a great boost to my future professional career. The major challenge was, though, that I did not only win the hearts of the Oscar jury and the film fans, but I also got unwanted attention from some really crazy people. I had crazy, dangerous stalkers following me for almost 6 years since I became a famous actress. I suffered from horror and panic attacks, and I felt I was watched and followed all the freaking time. That was the hardest period of my life. I had a secret stalker who would send me love letters almost every day. He also found out my phone number, and he would call me every day and chase me around the street. He was a real maniac. You can say, oh, but it often happens to celebrities. There are many celebrities who are being chased by stalkers and obnoxious fans, shut up. But my case was very different. My secret stalker was very special. He was one of a kind. One day, a horrible thing happened. This man attacked me all of a sudden when I was on a street, so he grabbed me by the throat and demanded that I give myself to him when I grow up and can legally get married. I was scared to death, and I started crying. I was all in tears, and I could feel his fingers on my neck squeezing me stronger and stronger. Then I heard the steps on the street and a passerby coming our way. This frightened stalker, and he ran away very fast, leaving me sitting right on the road pavement crying and sobbing out loud. I was so scared. I quickly ran home, and I told my mom about what just happened to me. She said we should ask the police to help, so we went to the police station and told them everything. But they just didn't care. They did not believe my story. And time went on. We finally found out who the stalker was. The maniac turned out to be John Hinckley, the son of a wealthy oil businessman. John is absolutely harmless. He's just a quiet kind of a crazy, the police assured me. But I did not believe him. As well, I remembered this day when the maniac attacked me face to face, and he was not harmless at all. And I remember it very well. He was scary and aggressive. From that day on, I developed a persecution complex and a phobia, and I became totally neurotic. I had hallucinations that a stalker was following and watching me all the time. Whenever I would hear some noises nearby or would see some strange people in long coats walking close to me, I would get scared and would immediately run away. I was sure Hinckley was totally focused on following and harassing me, and I was scared at some point he would attack me once again. I would run home and look at myself in the mirror, and my eyes was jerking and twitching. Meanwhile, Hinckley found out where I lived, and he sent me his letters every day. I did not read them, and my mother threw all of them in the trash bin, thank God. The movie Taxi Driver tells the story of the protagonist Travis Bickle, played by Robert De Niro. The protagonist plans to assassinate one of the presidential candidates. After watching the film, Hinckley developed an abnormal crazy mania for me, and he started following me. He even enrolled in one of the courses at Yale University where I studied to be, well, closer to me. But we didn't get to know each other in person. I was hiding from him, of course. All he could do was to slip notes under my door and call me on the phone. He wrote me horrible things like, "I followed you again today. You didn't see me, did you? I can go and kill you anytime if I want, but I don't want to hurt you. Although I will kill the people you were talking to today. They're all pimps and gangsters. I found out their profiles on the internet. Stay away from them, Jodie. This is my last warning." Hinckley was obsessed with me, so he wanted to get my attention at any cost, clearly. But I just wanted the damn maniac to leave me alone. But Hinckley wouldn't give up. At one point, he thought he would get my attention by hijacking a plane or committing suicide. But at the end, he decided to call a president to impress me. Hinckley started following Jimmy Carter, but he was then arrested for violating the gun control law. His mental condition was getting worse. Then in 1981, Hinckley started to assassinate Ronald Reagan. And he decided to do so. But before the assassination attempt, he sent me a letter. He said that he did not have everything possible to get my attention, but his poems and love letters didn't have any effect on me. He was also sure that the president's bodyguards wouldn't save the president because he allegedly found a secret deadly weapon. He also wrote that he was sure I would be proud of him after that. I'm sure he was totally insane by then, but nobody else believed in his plans. They all still thought he was harmless and not capable of doing harm. On March 30, 1981, Hinckley performed his planned president assassination, and it was an attempt. He fired 6 times with his revolver. It all happened at 2:27 p.m. local time, as Reagan was leaving the Hilton Hotel. There were 4 victims on Hinckley's attack, including the president. John Hinckley made no attempt to run away. He surrendered and was arrested right on the spot. Public video cameras recorded this attack. You can see it on the internet. So what happened next? Well, John Hinckley Jr., the son of an oil tycoon, he was put on court trial in 1982. He was charged with a total of 13 offenses, but was not found guilty because of his mental illness. And due to this fact, he was then sent to a mental asylum for medical and physiological, psychological treatment. And he went his 34 next years of life right there at a mental asylum. He was released in 2016, many years after the assassination attempt. I was scared and shocked when I found out he finally made free. However, Hinckley got some strict legal restrictions after his case and after the release. For example, he was not allowed to have any contact with me or with any representatives on the Reagan families. He was allowed to live only in a close neighborhood of his mother's house. He was also forbidden to speak in public and had to work 3 times a week and visit a psychiatrist twice a month. It's been 4 years since his release, and after all these years, the old nightmare and many, many nightmares are coming back to me again. Hinckley may not be a real threat anymore, but you never know what's on his mind, do you? And even though I have a personal bodyguard now, I don't feel totally safe. Do you think releasing Hinckley was the right thing to do for the society? And what would you do if you were me, if you just found out the dangerous stalker from the past has just gone free? If you liked my story, subscribe to the channel, give it a like, and See you soon. Goodbye.